What's up, internet? Welcome back to the Crypto Junkie channel where we talk all things crypto. So I don't think I actually shot this into a video and uploaded it on the channel, even though we talked about it in Bull Run Forever Substack email, which I'll link below. It's completely free, no games, no gimmicks. And I talked about the 4 charts, the only 4 charts you need to check to get an idea of what's going on in the crypto markets. Again, me just trying to attempt to simplify this crazy game of crypto. So today, that's what we're gonna cover. We're gonna cover the 4 charts that you need to look at to give you an overall macro view of what's going on and give you a fairly good idea of how to position yourself. Right now, if you wanted to drill down deeper than that, you could. Again, I'm just giving you high level look at the 4 charts that you need to be checking in on. So if you like this idea, then click the like button. It helps out with these videos, gets it in front of more people. You know the algorithm dance. Comment below if you got a specific question or you just want to give us some support throughout the video. Let's dive in. First 2 things, I put them side by side, and I put crypto market cap, which is total, TOTAL on TradingView, and total 2 on TradingView. Now, total is the entire crypto market, and 2 trillion is like the support level, but it's really like the bigger support is this green box that I've got here. And so that, I think that puts us, we're at like 43,000 right now. I think that puts us at about 50 to 52K, and we're surpassed above these levels, right? And that's what we want to see. If you look back, this has been the main area of action, right? So even though 2 trillion is the nice round number, and that's, where's 2 trillion at? Oh, we're right at 2 trillion. And so even though this is the nice round number, I see more importance in this green box, which is why I have it carved out. Okay, maybe we can talk about that more another time. But anyways, what's interesting about a asset like this that we're looking at is usually most people will be like, why do you got RSI on that? Why do you got MACD on that? Which are these 2 oscillators below. That means nothing, right? But it is very interesting when you start to take, this isn't an asset that we can trade. I can't trade total, right? But I can use this in the same way that I would use it on a traditional asset and get some really interesting things. Like we can start to see when momentum has changed. Okay, well, that's giving us alpha. That's giving us an edge. That's telling us part of a story, right? So that's why I keep stuff like this on. I know that, people probably wonder why. And then I keep VPVR on for this simple reason here is I'm constantly looking for the obvious low volume activity, low volume nodes, and the high volume nodes. Okay, so volume over time is usually here on the bottom, and this is volume over price going vertical. So horizontal plane is volume over time, and vertical is volume over price, right? So if we see, what do you know? Just under 2 trillion is a very small little volume node. And in very small volume nodes, you tend to get wicks. Always, always, always. I'll tell you, on like every asset class I've ever looked at, you tend to get wicks down into these low volume areas, low liquidity areas. That's just how it goes. What did we just do? We just did that, and now we're pulling back out of that. We're on our way back up. Okay, total 2 is everything but Bitcoin. So it's altcoin market, essentially. It's DeFi, it's everything but that. And for this, it's exactly half of Bitcoin. So it's 1 trillion is the big guy here, right? And this is a 3-day chart. If we look, I liked this green box, which is obviously why I have it highlighted, and I got this purple line here. Why don't I have VPVR? That's weird. Okay, let's add VPVR. So that in case you didn't know that, it's going to be under my favorites, and it's going to be visible range. It might not actually, there it is, okay. Sometimes you got to change the settings because on some asset classes it won't show up naturally. But what do we see here? We see a dip into these low volume nodes once again. Very simple stuff, right? Okay, so these are the 2 things that you're tracking. 1 trillion, 1 trillion is a good number to look at. 2 trillion is a good number to look at here. There you go, done. Okay, next, Bitcoin, obviously. And just looking at it from a high macro time frame, I'm not gonna explain all these lines. I know it looks like insanity, I'm sorry. Let's move this over in case you're not seeing the VPVR. Oopsies. Let me fix my capture here real quick. Okay, there we go. All right, so you might have missed total 2 stuff that I showed, right? Let me see. Yeah, you did, but you got total 1. Okay, so total 2, you just see, let me just quickly recap that. Low volume area here. Obviously, it's much cleaner. Like this is super tiny right here, which is where it dipped down for total. Okay, moving on. Bitcoin, I'm on a weekly chart. That is a 1-week chart. And if we look back, it's pretty interesting to see the interaction on 40. I had that level tagged out. This isn't a very clean chart. It looked better. You could start to walk this down. So a good exercise to get into is look at 3 month, look at 1 month, and then look at weekly, look at 3-day, and then look at 1-day. On Bitcoin and ETH only. Altcoins this doesn't really work with because the data and just the size of the markets just aren't the same. But on Bitcoin and ETH, getting into that habit and starting to mark out like anomalies and key levels and things that look really, really interesting to you, probably a good thing, right? And then we could cross-reference that with low volume nodes like this one right here, right? That was, you're expecting action there. We're on a 1-week chart. So if we get down into, check this out, we get down into daily, we start to see some differences, don't we? What do we got over here? Guys, it's like almost every time, right? Low volume node here, low liquidity. We get wicks down into it. Boom, that's where you place your orders. And that swept all the stop losses for these guys who got in. They put too tight of a stop, so they put it down here, and it got tagged 39665. That makes sense, which is probably a little bit more than what was expected. It was probably more like 399. Yeah, right under there. There you go. So 40K on the dot, and then people trying to be clever and 3999, right? And then boom, just swept it. Got a little liquidation cascade into that, and then just bang, right back the other way. So anyways, yeah, look at Bitcoin. Just look at it at a high time frame. Even a daily is probably too high for a lot of you. Look at it weekly. We start to see some really interesting stuff, and it becomes more digestible, doesn't it? Because we're like, oh wow, okay, we got this. Oh wow, we got the same thing here. Okay, we got this interaction here. So here, and this is what's funny about this is I shared this the other day on Bull Run Forever. Is the sentiment check difference between January on the way up when we hit 40K and we're in extreme greed from a sentiment check, and now when we just touched 40 the other day on like the 11th or the 8th, it was extreme fear. So 1 year difference, same price, exact opposite ends of sentiment scale. Again, these are the things that you piece together to get a narrative, right? And obviously we got technical pieces that we can look at too. But anyways, I don't want this to get too convoluted. So yeah, 40K, it's definitely an area of interest, right? This whole little wicked area is an area of interest. So it's more like, you move this box. This box kind of looks better there, don't it? Like there to there. Oops. Pull that back. Somewhere in there, right? You could probably even get, right? And so what do we see here is we essentially see a range from like 30K down here to 60K. We're in one big ass range from here to here. All right, we could start to do some other stuff too. I'm getting ahead of myself. I don't know why I'm doing this. Let's get to talking. And you can start to fib and put together some, oh my God, look at that. Look at that beautiful thing, isn't it? So that's from 0 to, how did we just measure that? That's from 1 to 0. Actually, we want that the other way, but it should be pretty similar. Reverse. Right, 0 to 1. And yeah, okay, so that if we had that flipped the other way, we were right in the golden pocket of where we just bounced. Interesting. Okay, so the next area of interest is definitely 50 and then 618 on the fib side. So you get it, right? So you'd come out here and you're starting to look at high time frames and you're starting to see like, okay, we're in this big ass range and 40 is kind of in the middle. So it's probably about 50%, damn near. And so that's why so many people are opening positions here. Easy invalidation, about halfway between this big ass range that we're in, right? Okay, seems pretty simple enough. ETH, same thing. This is the fourth chart that you need to look at. Let's look at weekly. Weekly, everything starts to look a little cleaner. I got all kinds of lines and stuff. Don't worry about it. Who cares? Ignore that. And so what do we see here? Weekly, again, you got nothing special here because the volume gets, diluted out quite a bit over here. So you're not going to see anything significant until you get on the daily. But we're kind of seeing similar. We got a lot of wick action down into here. Here, it wasn't as significant on the way up. It was all happening a little bit lower, right? But we saw a lot happening right in here with these wicks downside, and now we dip back into that slightly again. Yeah. So all of this in hindsight, again, this stuff looks a lot better. It looks easier to spot in hindsight. Study that, learn from that, right? Just to see if we got the same thing going on, let's go down to daily, get our VPVR up, and what do you know? It's almost like clockwork. Very low volume node, right before we had a little purple line here apparently, 27.92, we like that level. It got down to 29.31. Ran everybody's stops and created a swing fail pattern, and now it's on its way back up. All right, so there you go, 4 charts. Total 2, Bitcoin, ETH, and that's it. You got yourself a full picture of what's going on in the markets. You can make your decisions based off that. Okay, if you like this video, comment below if you got something to say. Hit the like button or the dislike button, whichever one you like. And if you like this sort of thing, subscribe, hit the bell notification, maybe share it with a friend. That'd mean a lot to us. It helped this channel grow. Thank you. See you again real soon.